Hey guys, and welcome to the In Tune podcast where we discuss the music that makes us mindful. Today I have a very special guest with me. He is a man of many lives. You guys will probably know him as an artist, songwriter, and self-made man. Here is Dave Tsimba.
I am forever changing. I don't mind rearranging. You've got to crawl before you walk. Routines I never bother, 'cause my mind can change by the hour, and I can live without a clock. Oh, don't you worry about me. Oh, 'cause I'm right where I should be. I'm doing just fine. Gonna paint my walls with my own design. Don't rush me, 'cause I'll be.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great.
Good.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm feeling amazing, honestly.
Amazing.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
so glad
blessed.
that you took the time to be here. I know you're so busy.
I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be here. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I really am. And on top of that, I've known you for so long.
I'm so happy.
This is bound to happen.
I know, and I'm
is bound to
so happy to have you, and I was so happy that you said yes because
Happy.
like you just said, we've known each other for quite some time.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I've always loved, no matter how bad of a day that any of us were having,
Yeah.
you just made it better. And you were
Um.
always constantly just constantly saying things that were funny and just walking around, just lifting the mood,
Yeah.
and just one of the hardest workers that I have ever met, and obviously talented. So I'm just so happy to have you here and have the world get to know you a little bit better on this platform. But I know you already you're really out there. So it's amazing.
Oh, no, I appreciate you so much. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't even know I was lifting people's moods up like that. I'm just out here.
You should know. You should know that. It really honestly, so we used to work together in a bar.
Yeah.
So I was bartending, you were bar backing, heavy lifter over here.
Yeah. 3 tons of shift minimum.
Yeah, and it's really hard to work in a fast-paced environment like that, and you have to have the people that really have your back. And I remember when I found out that you did music, and somebody just showed it to me, and I was just like, "Shut up! This is amazing."
When was the first time you saw my music?
Oh God, it was pre-COVID.
Was that pre-COVID?
It was pre-COVID. Yeah, and I remember saying, "Oh my gosh, somebody told me that you do music and I have to listen." You were like, "I don't know if you're gonna like my stuff," and I was like,
Yeah.
"What do you mean?"
Yeah, cause realistically, I'm in so many genres.
Yeah.
I'm touching so many genres. So
Yeah.
and it's hard, cause especially people who are gonna know and find out that
Right.
I'm multilingual. So I can jump from one to the other. It doesn't have to be hip hop, or it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be house or EDM. It doesn't even have to be. It could be country for all I
Yeah.
know, right? But realistically speaking, I never know. I'm like
Yeah.
I don't know if you're gonna like the R&B side,
Right,
or if you're gonna like
totally.
here or there. You literally have to check everything out to see which Dave you're gonna like. Are you gonna
know.
like Dave Tsimba? You gonna like David Tsimba? You gonna like just
Dave
Tsimba?
Tsimba.
You gonna like Dave Tsimba? Which one are you gonna like? Which one is really gonna grasp you and talk to
Yeah.
you in a way that you can feel like you relate to the music? So I'm like, I don't know. On top of that, I wasn't that good at mixing back then. So I'm a lot better now.
I'm
than
not
I
that
have
good at
been.
mixing now.
Shoot, man, I have so much to learn. People are talking about hey, I'm 10 years deep, and I'm like, you go, you go ahead, you go ahead.
You have to start
keep-
somewhere, honestly. And I think a lot of people get really stuck because
Yeah,
they're afraid
can't-
to be bad at something. But
Yeah.
you just have to be, and
Yeah.
and know that you're always 10 years in, even going to be learning still.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
You made a good point right there that you do have to. You got to be bad at something. You got to
Yeah.
start out being bad, and especially if it's not something that you're already going to be naturally good at. Now, some people
Completely.
can just hop on mixes, starting out, and they'll probably be like, "Nah, my shit was shit. It was nothing. It was horrible."
Yeah.
But you listen to it, and you're like, "You're fucking kidding me," because this shit is pretty good.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you have to start being bad. And shoot, even with songwriting, it's coming the same way.
I
know
was
you feel it.
not great in the beginning.
You are, first of all, she tripping. Because I've known you for quite a while now. Okay, and I know you and Danny.
Yeah.
Okay, are insane. I don't want to hear it.
Oh my
I
God.
don't want to hear
I
it.
appreciate
Y'all
that
have,
so much.
Y'all have been insane. you guys just keep getting crazier. Basically, you went from like insane in the street to now you're in an insane asylum type of insane. So like you
That's
know,
like maybe the most unique, amazing compliment I've ever received.
you see what I'm saying? Like you guys literally you're on it. So
I really appreciate
I
that.
don't even want to hear that. Yeah, tripping.
I'm so excited too because like she obviously just she's gonna be like, why are you talking about me on your podcast? But it's fine. I do it all the time.
Well, facts.
Hey,
You're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear it today.
Yeah, you're gonna hear about Danny today. Danny is my sister. For anybody who and we are mutual friends. Which this is a really funny story actually. So when you knew Danny before you knew me.
Yeah.
And when Danny was in college at MTSU.
Shout out.
Yeah. So she knew you. And then I knew you from bartending downtown.
Y'all put two and two
and
together.
then my sister came in to just like hang out. And she was sitting at the bar and I was just like serving other people. And you were my bar back and you walked behind me. And I think you heard her laughing and you thought it was me laughing. And
100%.
you like looked up and you were like, why are you here, Danny? And she was like, that's my sister. And you were like, this makes so much sense.
It made all the sense in the world.
We sound the same.
It made all the sense in the world. I was just like, yeah, this makes sense. It was such a nice moment too. It's like two worlds colliding.
It
but,
really does.
yeah,
It warmed my
nice.
heart. Like it just made me feel like so good. Like that. Like we're obviously that always makes me feel like I'm on the right track.
100%.
If that makes sense. But yeah, she just graduated and we're doing a ton of really cool stuff. She's starting to like produce for me now, which is so cool. And obviously we're gonna write together for
forever. Yeah, I mean,
have been, will forever.
I mean, yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to hear what you got new coming up. So
yeah, I feel like we need a Dave Tsimba collaboration at some point down the road.
You know, I'm
sure.
always down to collab. So I think the biggest thing I probably worked on was flow. Like from the minute somebody even told me that, hey, you have the ability to flow. Right, in like 5th grade to now where it's like it doesn't matter what the instrumental sounds like. The minute I feel it,
you're done. It's
yeah,
there.
It could be 5 minutes and that's fine, or it could just be like and when we were in Florence, Kelsey's in the room and so is Henry, and I just I was like it's quiet and just going in, and I finished 2 p.m. in Florence because I just wrote it. And then 39 comes on because I put 2 instrumentals together, and 39 comes on and I just throw the phone. I throw the phone and I just go off the dome because I was just like I'm not here. I was just like I feel the beat. I'm here for it. So whatever it may be.
That is such an amazing skill to have. It's mind-blowing for me to even think that somebody can do that. Yeah. Because a lot of the time when I'm talking, even I'm like, what am I saying? Like I have no idea. So to be that like specific and know exactly what you want to say, how you want to say it, and it come out so elegantly. Yeah. And with you, it's in like 5 different languages. So
yeah. It comes straight from the heart. Like it just came straight from the heart. Like I knew I put myself. I had to learn, especially after COVID. I had to learn how to take myself out of specific spaces. In terms of whether that be a place where I used to be super hurt, right? Mm-hmm. And sometimes I could be in there for about 2 weeks. Yeah. Mentally, I'm in there for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I just can't be in there longer than a month. Yeah. Or else I am
stuck.
Oh, and then all that music that comes through is just that sadness.
And then you have to go around and perform that and listen to it.
And that's the thing.
I always think that. Do you ever think that about like artists that their like one massive hit is just their absolute most heartbreaking
song that you have to relive
over and over and over again? Do you think they like live in that? From then on because of that? I always think about it.
I was gonna say R.I.P. Juice WRLD at that point because he's probably the minute that you heard the chorus of I still see the shadows in my room. Yep. Can't give back the love that I gave you. And I know that just even many people related to the song, of course, and the song is catchy. The sounds amazing. But when you really listen to the lyrics, you're like, you gotta repeat that on stage every day.
Every day.
I can't even. For a good year and a half, I couldn't touch my Love No Vibes tape at all. Especially a song called LMA. It's called Leave Me Alone.
Yeah.
And that song, I remember recording it, and the guys were like, this song, they literally were blown away. They were just silent. We were just silent. After I wrote it, we were just silent. It was like 5 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
And then Henry looks at me 2 weeks later and says, you know what you have to do. You know what this song is missing. And I had to put the ad lib of it's over, talking about a past relationship at that point. A relationship that hurt me very deeply. I was drinking 2 bottles of tequila a day. Oh, while still going, while still like doing everything else I was doing. But
absolutely.
Like, I was
but that's,
like when I was off, like, because COVID, we had no work.
Absolutely.
You know, and so when
I was
it
going
happened,
through that too. Like I had a relationship that really took me out, and I at the same time, like it was COVID times too, and I was just not. The two mixed together, it's hard to get your life back. Like, it's
100%.
hard because if one or the other thing would have happened, I realized I would have been fine. Yeah. But because they happened at the same time. Yeah. And I think a lot of people feel that way. Yeah. And it took me a long time to crawl out.
Yeah. What got you out?
Music. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But I couldn't write it for at least a year and a half.
No, for sure.
People were like, write it out.
You can't, yeah.
I was so frozen. Yeah. There was just nothing I could do to make me inspired because I wanted to get out of it. I didn't want to relive it in lyrics.
No, exactly, for sure. So, you don't. You don't. We have a video in. You remember when I told you we were going to North Carolina with the crew? Okay, so the video for Cold, ironically, that song was the first song to ever hit Apple Music charts, which is insane.
So cool.
Which is insane because it ain't even that good.
And I mean, get out of here. But you've done that so many times now, and I think it's so amazing. It's been amazing watching you really just like pop off. Like
it's weird.
It's so cool.
It's weird.
It does feel weird, probably,
weird.
right?
It's weird. It doesn't feel like. I checked my Spotify numbers yesterday, or like, no. Before I left, for the most part, I'd say 80% organic. I hit 1.1 million in 2.5 years of really taking it seriously.
So amazing. That's so amazing, and that really proves that you can do something like that with consistency,
100%,
and a lot of hard work, and 100%. Obviously talent. But that's so cool.
It's possible. Now, granted, some people hit 1 million off one song, and shout out because but like to even see it come from like where I started to like. I'm not that good at this, and figuring it out and messing up and messing with here and there and then like now looking at it, I'm like, nah, you can do it. Yeah. Or in fact, not more so. It's funny because people always say like when I'm going to be, and realistically speaking, very much so. I've started saying, well, I already am. Mm-hmm. Regardless, I've already passed my 40,000 hours. Like way long time ago, we were literally. We were up, COVID, I was up from, I'd wake up at 10 a.m., go to sleep at noon the next day. Oof. And then wake up at 2 p.m. and AB and HV would already be in the studio, so I'd keep going. And then I'd go back to sleep, probably drink myself to sleep for the most part at 5 or 6 a.m., right? Wake up at 10 a.m. and repeat that same cycle. Oh I was just going. I was just going and going and going, and it just could not stop. It didn't matter.
What pulled you out of like to where you were just like, let me just take care of myself a little bit better here?
For sure the music, but I had to get it out. No matter how much I didn't. And then once I got it out, I went for like 3 months where I just didn't do anything. I ain't smoke, I ain't drink, I was just here. Yeah. And like I always say, we out here. But I was literally we out here. I was literally just, I don't know, a weird little zone. I can't even really explain. And I just allowed myself to, I guess, feel everything. Also, I guess I cried for the first time in 12 years.
Oh my gosh.
So
that's a long time not to cry.
9 years. My fault. Ironic. I was 12. Hadn't cried since.
My God.
So
Dave.
yeah, like actually, like yeah, like actually, like yeah.
Was that? Can I ask? Was that the first time that you like took a break from everything and just focused like super in like I'm sober right now. I'm focusing on life. Is that how long had that been since you were just like I need a minute to just be unaffected? Yeah.
Yeah.
That long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and it was weird because I got so used to making music, being inebriated.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I have a line somewhere where I say, that, you know, that I drink, or I guess the gist of it is when I drink or I smoke, it tends to make me relatable, or having or I drink and I smoke something that rhymes with relatable. I don't know. Yeah. And then being slightly inebriated seems to make me relatable because people seem to just feel it a little more. And then I was just like, well, how do I make music when I'm sober? And I got better at that. To the point where now when I'm inebriated, it just flows.
Yep.
It's just different, you know? So, I don't know. I feel like I definitely I just had to get it out of myself, you know, to come back to that original. Like I had to get it out. I had to. It just was eating me up.
Yeah.
And it is very painful. It's painful to cry to your own shit. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you.
No,
that shit's painful.
I think a lot of us forget that we wrote it from our lives.
Yeah, no.
Because
say that again. Say that again for the people. Say that again.
A lot of us forget that we wrote the music that we wrote for our lives, from our lives.
Yeah.
And we want to give it to people.
Yeah.
So that they can feel related, like it's something that happens.
Yeah.
So that everybody can feel like they're not alone.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I think we feel alone.
No, for sure. I mean,
in that process, if that makes sense.
I mean, realistically speaking, in the way that, especially in the way that I can always say like the way I grew up, but I grew up in so many different environments. It's insane, you know. So especially as a guy, you know, and I can especially speak for brothers, like as a black male, like to cry is like no, or it's just like, you know, growing up no, you know, and like especially as a Congolese black male, like I'm about ain't no way I will allow you to cry, you know, and to realize that you know, things such as kindness and being able to show being vulnerable are not weaknesses whatsoever. You know, they're your strengths. You know, hopefully a lot of the guys out here are listening to me when I say this, that it is very much not. It's not a weakness at all to be vulnerable. Be vulnerable with your guys at least. You know, that's the biggest thing that I think. Shout out all HUC, all y'all. They know exactly who they are, because if I say the names, it's a long list.
You gotta shout out your guys. Your name.
A long list.
You have a hell of a team too.
We top 5. I mean, it's top 5. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I got, you know, the top 5, but you know, it's a long list still. You know, like I when I tell you very much so that we've now integrated and made it a part of ourselves to at least mental health checkups. Like every month we check up real quick. Even if you don't respond, you know we're there. You know, like hey, we're there.
Absolutely.
You know, because I've lost a lot of people in my life. You know, so you don't want at all to see somebody else leave because they didn't talk or they couldn't talk.
Yeah.
And for the longest, I shut myself out of that.
Yeah.
And as much as I needed it, but it would have been nice. There's a side of me that like, yes, being selfish is good at times, but at least let people know, hey, it's all, I'm gonna be all right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be okay.
Absolutely.
You know? So yeah.
Yeah.
You know? So shout out the whole team.
You're literally so easy to talk to, and I feel like we could go on forever. I know you're like super busy and you have things that you've got to get to, so I just want to get into, because honestly I don't even think we really need any prompt questions, but I know, but I do want to ask, because I ask everybody. So basically I ask top 3 songs, or just 3 songs in general that make you feel really nostalgic. Could be growing up, could be yesterday, just things that like stop you in your tracks. songs that really hit you a certain way?
There's one song that reminds me of my mom. Mom, if you ever lead us earth, I swear to God.
She's not allowed.
She's not allowed, but it's funny. I don't have the closest relationship with my parents like I used to when I was younger, but and it's in French, and it's basically like entre tes mains j'abandonne tout ce que tu, and then it like goes in, and the whole song concept is saying that God take everything, like please take everything, and it goes to oui prends tout Seigneur, oui prends tout Seigneur, and like to hear that, for if I heard that from my mom's, like if I heard that anywhere, like I would just go back to being 5 years old and being in church, and my mom stopping everybody, because my mom's a pastor, and my mom stopping everybody and singing that song, and it just says the whole place just went just silent, but in a weird way. I don't even know how to really explain it. Like, but for me, I'm like, that moment, I just hone in on it. And I could be anywhere. But if I heard that song, long after she's gone anywhere, it would just bring me right back to my mom, like singing that. She used to have the most amazing, beautiful singing voice. And
I have
God, Jesus, the way
chills.
it's just weird. It's just wild. Like that right there. That's for sure.
That's amazing.
That's the first song. Second song. Damn.
It's a hard question.
Yeah,
I
is.
know.
Second,
I know.
I gotta give it Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, and specifically, it'd have to be Billie Jean, because I used to be the biggest Michael Jackson fan, no ifs, ands, or buts. When especially as a younger kid, I wanted the entire, the jacket with the 6 zippers. Like I wanted the leather jacket. With shout out Rick Ross on that with that leather jacket with the 6 zippers. I wanted that,
Iconic.
with the pants. And I used to replicate so many of his dance moves, and I'll never forget being in France. I think we were like. It's like 4 or 5, something like around there too. Same time period, realistically speaking.
Totally.
And like I remember like watching our small little box TV like right there, and you like it's cool because we live on the 8th floor, so like you can see everything. It sounds luxurious, but it ain't. Trust me, we're in the ghetto. So,
that's a new song. The 8th floor of the ghetto.
You know what I'm saying? For us, we call it les banlieues. You know what I'm saying? Or that's what we. Shout out au Lièvre aussi. 5400, c'est mon checks. From my whole life story, but like I remember doing that and like being there, like that song forever in my heart.
I know I put you on the spot. It's only because you're super important and busy.
last song, I'm gonna be honest with you, will be LMA.
Okay.
My own. I hear that song anywhere, and I'd probably drop a vase in a goddamn grocery store. Like, I'm serious. I'm dropping all my groceries.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm stopping. Like, I can deal with it now.
Yeah.
I can watch the video and not cry for once.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't even listen to the song. Like I have to put in lyrics on Music Match.
Yeah.
Right. And like you have to you have to do it yourself. So like re-listen to all your re-listening to everything.
And then I was like, are you ever like? I said that. I wrote that.
No.
Why
for
did
sure.
I write that?
For sure, all the time. I'm like, God damn. It's like, so that was.
I love that.
Yeah.
I will tell you, I had a song that I just recently wrote, and I played it out.
Yeah.
And my dad had not heard me play in 12 years, but he had come out for every single show. And made sure that I was there for every single thing I needed to be for most of my life.
Yeah.
And so as soon as it hit to the point where I was kind of like, I'm grown, I'm going to do this myself.
Yeah.
He gave me a lot of space.
Yeah.
And then I finally got to a point where it like, I finally got to this point where, like, I'm going to cry.
Yeah.
Where he was, my dad hadn't seen me play in 12 years.
Yeah.
And basically, he had been there for me my whole life. like all the way up until I was 18, and then further on until I was like 21. And I think once I ended up like going on tour and doing all of those things, he gave me a lot of space. And that was amazing because I needed to learn. I needed to learn how to do this on my own. And but I think he still always looked at me like
you're the little baby girl.
Like the girl that he knew that was still trying to figure it out on stage. And so then I performed this song that he had never heard before. I'm playing this song called Weighted Blanket that I just had written, and it's about the industry and walking through it and how heavy it can feel, and how I had spent a lot of time blaming others for why I didn't get opportunities or why opportunities went wrong and things like that. And how I overcame it by saying, how about I take responsibility for myself now, and instead of saying these things are happening to me, these things are happening for me. And that's what that song is about. And my dad heard it in the audience, and I have never seen him look like that ever.
Man.
And so when I talk about, and you talk about like, I wrote that lyric. And then I kind of come back and I'm almost like, did I write that lyric, or did like the universe write that lyric? And it just came to me because there are just moments where it just feels
unreal. 100%.
Yeah. But I was on stage,
100%.
like you're talking with your song. I was on stage shaking. And I didn't know anyone else was in the audience. Like it was just wild. So I totally feel that. I feel that with certain songs like that I've written as well, and you're just like, oof, that one hit a certain kind of way.
I was like top 3. I was like, Jesus, but I was like that.
No, those are good though, and I love that.
They'll hit.
They do hit. They hit.
They'll hit. So.
And I love that you're gonna put yourself in the category with those people who absolutely were people that you looked up to. 100%. That's really important. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I don't even. Yeah. I wouldn't call myself any type of role model at all. But you know, it's just that song just take me out. Yeah. You know. So.
I want to kind of go back a little bit, just really quickly, to something you said earlier that I thought about, and it was how you were in a really low point, but knowing you, I didn't know that, and you were always bringing people up around you, and I think that says a lot about you as a human being, but also you see those things where they're like, check in on your happy friends.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Because I do that, and I feel like now that you just said that, I'm like, I feel like that is you. You want to make sure everyone else is cool and good and okay.
Yeah, that's me.
And you're internalizing everything.
That's me. I learned how to hide my emotions really, really well. Yeah. Especially at work. You know, I know I come in. I think it was around that time before the injury happened. Yeah. And someone looked at me and said, you're not yourself today. And I was like, what you mean? And they're like, you need to keep in mind that when you come in here, like, I didn't know I had this big of an impact. I'm just out here living life. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. It's my 3rd day out here. I don't know. Yeah. Somebody told me, like, you need to understand that, like, when you come in here, like, people are happy, people are excited. You lift the mood up, like you said. And so when I guess it brought in perspective of, like, when I'm at work, like, to make sure that I'm keeping that same energy. Yeah. Because somebody else is probably going to need it. Yeah. And and somebody else might not be strong enough to do that. Absolutely. You know, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's okay. And if that means that I have to be the one to do it. Completely. Sure. I was just like, you know what? Cool. And during that time period, I didn't let anyone know. I think Tom figured that out probably, like, he looked at me one day. He's like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, and because he looked at me. And
I haven't thought about Tom in a while.
This is back when we still there. What's up, Tom?
TC, Tom, he got me my
the original TC, Tom Kane. You already know. I love that man.
Okay, he's gonna lose his mind.
I love that man.
We just got a shout out.
I love that man. Like, literally, when I tell you, like, he looked at me, because I looked at him. I was just like, I gotta tell you something. He was like, "What's wrong?" You know. And I was just like, she left me, man. And not many people know this, so I can say this on the podcast now. But I mean, I talk about it a lot with close friends. But I'll share it with you today. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll share it with all you guys.
I really appreciate that
today. You know,
Yeah.
but I had a ring. So you're at a point there where you're like,
that's a decision. That's like a lifetime decision.
100%.
That's like you are making a decision for that person to be in your foreseeable future.
100%.
And it's hard to pull them out of that once they're not there anymore.
Yeah. Imagine that and it getting ripped out from under you. You know, felt like a bad wax. Never gotten waxed in my life before, but I'm sure it felt like bad wax.
I'm positive it felt worse.
I've seen enough cartoons at this point.
I am positive it felt worse.
And I just like, you know, so that every single time when we went back to work, you know, and like being single, freshly off, and like I see so many people go in that environment and, you know, mess around way too much with, of course, customers or whatever, and blah blah. Their restaurant industry is insane, you know. But like, you get to a point where I was like, I don't really want to deal with anyone else.
Yeah.
You know, like I remember, shout out Carson. I was talking to him because he knew, and he was like, you just gotta go like relax and just breathe a little bit.
Yeah.
Just breathe. You
Yeah.
know, like just breathe. If you don't want to do any of this or that, or don't want to go out with nobody, or don't want to, that's fine. But you need to breathe a little bit. And so, yeah, that's where I was.
I feel like he always had good advice.
100%,
Sure.
100%. You know, so that as much as, you know, he loves the Chicago Bears and I'm a Packers fan, but
just throw him under.
we yeah, that's my dog. Thanks, shout out to him. So yeah.
Okay, so I know you have to head out. So I'm gonna do my last 3 questions for you.
Let's do it. Let's do them.
When do you feel you're most authentic and why?
Lately, aside from the studio,
It can be wherever, whenever. Like the most authentic that you feel, whether it's by yourself or with a group of people, it doesn't matter. When you feel the most you, what is that?
with my baby, my baby girl.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Like
I love that.
I've never felt so me around somebody else.
Isn't that just what we're all looking
and,
for?
And like, yeah, we are.
Yeah.
But I didn't look for it.
That's when it happens too.
I didn't look for it at all.
That's what they say.
A year and a half in.
That's what they say.
I was cool, and then I locked eyes with that woman, and I was like, ain't no way. I was like, no.
I'm not ready.
I know this road, but little did I know I didn't know that road. Little did I know it was the road that I needed, not the road that it was the road that I needed and wanted.
Yeah.
With her, no offense, but I mean, because most of the time I don't sleep. You know this. I'm not a sleeper at all. Have insomnia, so you know.
Me too. I have insomnia.
You know, like when I tell you, like, if I'm in that woman, if she even like just sometimes she'll, you know, like we'll cuddle, and sometimes I get to be Little Spoon, cool. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like lots of guys like that.
Yo, if you don't like being Little Spoon,
don't sleep on Little Spoon.
Shit, bro. Like it's lit because you being held. You know,
right.
you being held. You know.
That's right.
I feel like, you know, just so at ease and at peace with the world. Of course, granted, whenever I guess we're out together, I'm always, you know, my friends last time we were out and they were like, bro, your Broadway mode is your barback mode is activated because they could just see I was like looking, like because the one that I hit, like they were trying to go on Broadway, trying to go Pushing Daisy, so like I'm looking, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking, I'm attentive. I'm ready for whatever.
You're like, I am clocking the room.
I'm ready for whatever. I'm clocking the room. How many fights have we gotten in those barbacks?
God.
Like way too many. Like I'm
they don't even talk about that part. You know what I mean?
Like they don't. Like
they don't.
Like we ain't gonna go into. We'll go over that next time.
Yeah,
for
honestly,
sure.
because I would love to have you back because we have too much to talk about
We do,
and not
we do.
enough time.
We do. We do. So that's
Cool.
you know. And on top of that, when I'm with my guys, for sure. When I'm with my guys, no offense or buts. And also being back in France. I ain't back in France in 4 years at that point. This summer, it was insane. For the first few days, it was unreal, but it was insane.
Love that. Okay, awesome. All right, well then I'm gonna ask you my next one, which is who or what song do you think needs more attention? Who are people sleeping on right now that they need to look out for?
You sleeping on Hell Yeah. I gotta give my boy Hell Yeah a shout out. I gotta give my boy Quaz a shout out. Lil Byron, Shamar, Loki, Near in France. Minou en France aussi.
I know you gotta lie.
Cool Me in Vegas. I know y'all already know her, but Gracie Carroll.
Yeah, I mean,
I already know
Gracie,
you know her, but Miss
my
Allison
girl.
Park.
He's like, he's gonna list the list off. I love it.
Yeah, Abeza. Y'all sleeping on Adrian, Zachary, and Henry Jr. Even though they don't do music, they're just lit. Kelsey Cotton, you sleeping on her, but she just lit. I got so much love for so many people. So.
I love that you're one of the people here that I love as well. That I love to do this. It's like a passion of mine. I want other people to hear everybody's music. I want them to see like everything cool and amazing that everybody has to offer. So everyone's always just like so surprised when I'll do like the Friday 5 or something, and I just want to show people off. And they're like, thank you so much for doing that. But truly, like, more people need to hear all of these artists and all of these people working really hard, not even just artists, but like people working in mental health, people working like truly.
Exactly. Because they're all artists in their own room.
Absolutely. Everybody is an artist in their own room. That's beautiful.
Shout out Carla Nicole. You know what I'm saying? Shout out so in Miami, all the way in Florida. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out. There's so many people I want to shout out. So many people I have love for. If I didn't shout you out, I love you. But just know those are the people that you need to have on your radar. So.
Absolutely.
For sure. Oh, Lil Byron as well. Shout out.
Yes. See, here's the thing. We talked about this earlier, and I was cracking up because I had said that when people say that they know you, I always ask them this one like thing, or I'll bring it up to see if they actually do know you. What is that thing, Dave?
You need to remember the Alamo.
You need to remember the Alamo.
Yeah, find it, guys.
Seriously, this man would be running through the absolute thick of it at the bar or out, or anytime I've seen him, he just shouts, "Remember the Alamo."
And if you know me, you know me. You remember the Alamo. You gotta know. February 23rd through March 6th, 1836.
You remember Dave. You remember the Alamo.
You know, get that in your history lessons, in your history books.
We've been learning about a lot of history today. Like we looked up Simba from The Lion King.
Yeah, means doesn't
Simba
mean the
means
same
lion.
Lion, which a lot of y'all in y'all relationships, y'all lying, y'all Simbas. Tripping.
We're using that now. If you're lying, you're a Simba.
Now, my name means firstborn in Lingala. So I'm a Congolese originally. I'm firstborn in Lingala. So it's Tsimba and Nzuzi. Which would be, so Nzuzi would be my sister, or my twin sister.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mom, the only one in the world with my name, like I told you. Like David, everybody has David. That's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To be in Simba, you have to be Congolese, and that runs the world down to two countries, Democratic Republic of Congo and Republic of Congo. And then, of course, you know, you have to be in my family.
Yeah.
And so I'm not gonna tell y'all my family name because that's too much for y'all.
But
you already know.
Yeah, I do know. I do know. I feel very
privileged
privileged with that information. I do.
So you gotta be. So I'm the only one. So
that's amazing.
That's cool. Which is cool. It's cool to say.
I love it. It is cool to say. No one can say.
Shout out to it.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
Well, I love it so much. I know that you have a ton always coming out.
Yeah.
But if you want to talk a little bit about what you're up to next, and where we can find everything.
Man, you can find everything on, Dave Tsimba, when it comes down to Instagram, Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, YouTube, wherever. Dave Tsimba Vivo's on YouTube.
Let's go.
You know, when it comes to Facebook, same thing, Dave Tsimba or Official Tsimba. Twitter, same thing, Dave Tsimba. TikTok, same thing, Dave Tsimba.
Spelling's right there.
You know, spelling right there for those who don't know how to. And then right now, realistically speaking, work-wise, got so much music in the work. Ballerina just came out, which I'm speaking mainly Spanish only. So y'all be people are surprised probably, but you know, it is what it is.
No, keep surprising them. That's what makes you so unique. I love it.
And then I'm working on a little. Working on a little banger tape, but I believe I have the song in the summer.
That's
I'm gonna
amazing.
leave it at that. But I can't drop it now.
Yeah.
In the summer, so I might have to drop it later on.
Right.
But if I do, I just need you to keep in mind one thing.
Okay.
A win is a win. A win is always gonna be a win, right?
I'm just gonna say that in my head
if they
forever.
say it's a win, a win is a win, right? So, yeah, I think that's probably a good way to describe the song itself.
That's awesome.
You know, it's definitely good. So
I love it. A little bit of mystery, a little bit of hints. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on here.
I appreciate you.
I could talk
really
to you
do.
for days.
Yeah, no, we could keep this going.
Honestly.
Next time you let me know, we're gonna run it up
Absolutely.
again.
I'm sure people will want you back as well.
I'm here for it. I hope y'all do.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love you. I appreciate y'all.
I really appreciate you. Thank you all so much for tuning in to In Tune with Allison Park. See you next Monday.
I am forever changed.